Well, well, that was a day. We're just wrapping up Friday. Here in Tel Aviv. Um, it's the Sabbath. It's Shabbat, and I knew if I didn't get off my computer by 10 or 11 o'clock, I'd probably still be sitting at it. Last night at the screening at Cinematheque Tel Aviv, I met up with Annette Goldstein, who I haven't seen since she was Annette Kuntz, like 150 years ago. So I rang her up this morning and we walked to what used to be called, the last time I was here, was a plaza in front of the Art Museum in Tel Aviv, but now unfortunately it's called Hostage Square. And we spent the day there, meeting, having a coffee, walking around, meeting with volunteers and seeing family members and the community come together as an act of strength, resilience, and remembrance. I see a theme here. And I don't see the post that Lisa puts up. I just do she tells me to do this. So, whatever Lisa does, I just say, okay, tell me where to stand. So it may have been mentioned in a post that being here post October 7th, obviously there's another story now to be written. Yesterday when I met with the amazing women, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, of Zikaron Basalan, which means the conversation in the dining room. And these women work globally to ensure that the stories of the Holocaust are remembered, working with the first gen, second gen, third gen, and asking them to go into people's homes and people to invite them into their homes and have conversations and listen to their stories and ensure that the stories are remembered by sharing them and passing them down to the next generation, specifically on Yom HaShoah and also on Passover, because at Passover, where we just had that holiday a few weeks ago, it's a story told over a dinner, a Seder, a meal. Seder means order. And we retell the story every year. But we're people, we all have stories to tell. So now this story of the Holocaust will eventually become, a permanent part of the Seder. One thing about Passover and all of the holidays is that they adapt to the context around them. Seder plates have changed over the years, the service changes over the years, so too will October 7th become part of the Haggadah, part of the story. And I told this group, I'm here for them, just tell me where to stand, because I'm all about capturing those stories. And that same thread came up later this afternoon when speaking Annette, interesting story, Annette was interested in volunteering in Hostage Square. And she was going on and on about the film and, what it traces and understanding the importance of telling these stories and making sure that the voices of the second gen are heard. And I said, well, you have a superpower too. And she's here volunteering in Israel. And while we were walking around, she said, I'd like to volunteer here. And wouldn't you know, by the end of the day, she had secured a position volunteering by simply asking. And by her asking, a conversation began. I really should leave the house more often, clearly. A conversation began. She spoke with a woman named Hila Tal, I believe her name is. Hila also volunteers. She doesn't have anyone in her family that's directly related to the murdered victims of October 7th by Hamas, or anyone who is a hostage or was murdered, but she feels compelled to do something. And after we had a conversation, she told me that the soldiers need their stories to be written down and recorded. Let me repeat that. She said the soldiers and the victims of the Hamas massacre, those who survived, they have a story to tell. obviously, and they need someone to help them write that story. Well, I have many wise friends. One wise friend told me, she said, you don't know what you have in store for you when you go to Israel. And boy, she was right. So we'll see where that goes. But it circles back, and I will wrap momentarily, because there's all these people on this hill over here that's overlooking the water, and they're all gathering. They're all going to watch the sunset. It's such a sense of community here. It's I don't know. I don't have the adjectives. I'm tired because it's after 2 and I don't write well or speak well after 2. But so I've gotten this question at almost every Q&A that I've done for Traces, and the question is, what can we do? So I pretty much have my standard response now after you get it every so often, because really what they're asking is, how do we solve this problem of this hatred that seeps in from one generation to the next? And I don't have any of those answers. If we did, this would all be fixed by now. But I do know that what we can't do is nothing. You cannot do nothing. Everyone has some type of superpower, and I saw that today with Annette, who her idea of doing something was coming to Israel on more than one occasion and volunteering. She's picked fruit, she's packed baskets, she's packed up clothes and chocolate, and she's gone to barbecues. She's another one. Just tell me where to stand, and that was so inspiring to me. So you too have a superpower. I don't know if your superpower is writing a check or sewing or doing art or offering camaraderie, helping someone learn how to write or read. Everyone can do something. What we cannot do is nothing. And if you're interested in volunteering or supporting SFI, that's also something you can do too. Go to info@searchingforidentity.org. But the long and the short of it is that we all have something we can do to put positive out there. And in the case of what I do, it's ensure that we tell our story. We control our own narrative by capturing the truth and ensuring it for future generations to understand who we are, because we're made up of experiences and we're made up of stories, and those inspire. So on that fine note, I will wish you a very lovely weekend, a Shabbat Shalom, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 10,742 of this Israeli fabulous Odyssey. My gratitude is to all of you who are listening or watching these video things and following this story, those who support SFI and all the many time, talent, treasure. I learned that from Sally Lott at Hendricks Day School. And the second gen also. And of course to Annette for being my personal Israeli guide today. That was really something. It's that existential need to not only survive but thrive in adversity that is absolutely contagious. And that's the kind of virus we all want to catch. That's a pretty good way to end. Bye-bye.